Interracial marriage, sir?
No, sir.
Are you against that, Todd? Do you believe interracial marriage is wrong morally?
Well, I don't think it's wrong.
Let me ask you, what do you think about what Khalid Abdul Muhammad is saying on the program today? Do you find it offensive? Do you find it shocking? Do you think he's going to be at the forefront of a major racial war? Are you going to be? Do you think he's going to be at the forefront of a racial war in our society? What do you think about the hatred that he's spewing?
Well,
I'm spewing love for my people.
yeah, but
I'm not necessarily anti-white. I'm pro-black.
Hatred towards the black race.
I'm against anyone who's against us, sir.
I'm not against you. I would like to see you being included.
Why don't you conduct yourself much better?
Sir,
on
why don't
your
you stop calling me a devil and evil and all these things? I think we get along
acting that way, I will stop calling
Sir,
you.
by your definition, it's a devil. Sir, I don't go around calling you a devil. I've treated you respectfully on the program.
Of course you have not.
That's a lie. Todd, what do you think? Do you think this type of hatred, do you think that's going to create animosity between the races? What do you think about African Americans?
Todd, have you heard hatred? That's the question.
Todd, have you heard hatred?
Did you hear me say that we don't want to rule over white people? We just want to rule ourselves?
Did you hear him call white people evil?
I called you evil.
You also called white people and impugned the whole white race.
You're a representative of the white race today.
And
a poor one at that.
Every white person is a representative of the white race, and according to you, they're all racist.
All are representatives, and some attempt to conduct themselves much better than you are today.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that, Todd?
Well, I tell you, he says that that the black race is superior and intellectually, superior to suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't believe that.
Who's superior, Todd?
I don't think either one are superior.
Nothing is equal in the universe, Todd.
So he thinks blacks are superior to whites. Do you believe that?
We're the father and mother of civilization. We're the father and mother of music and science and law and government and mathematics and morality and ethics. We're the father and mother of the disciplines of the earth, but now the history books and the textbooks all are lying that the white man has put out there.
So what you're saying is that black people are just oppressed
and lied on.
If you relieve the oppression, then they'll rise above.
Well, the white man doesn't have to relieve the oppression. We're not asking him to do that. God is going to take the oppression and bondage and the yoke of bondage that the white man has placed on us off of us. We don't want to give him that much power that we have to sit around and wait for the white man to remove the oppression from us.
Todd, thanks so much for the call. We appreciate Abdul Muhammad as we talk with this lightweight, devilish talk show host, Sean Hannity. Back to the phones we go. Bill from Huntsville, you're live on AM 770. Hello.
Hi. I'm white, and I'm a pastor of a church in Huntsville, and we spend a lot of time, lots and lots of time out in the streets of Huntsville, in the housing projects, and the streets deal a lot with young black Americans, and I feel in my heart as a Christian, as a pastor, that God really wants to do something amongst the black race. I see a lot of, just as Mr. Muhammad, as his name says, I see a real breakdown in the home, a breakdown in the family, a total collapse. And I think personally the problem is illegitimacy. The problem is a moral collapse. And what I see as a Christian and what God is calling people to is taking responsibility for their lives. And the Bible calls people to repentance, not pointing the finger at other races. And I feel as a pastor that that the only reason that the Nation of Islam and demagogues like that have any voice at all and any power at all is the failure of the black church to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ in the neighborhoods and in the streets. And if they would do that and call black people to take responsibility for their lives through the power of God, that the Nation of Islam would have no authority and no moral voice at all. That's what I feel. That's all I really got to say. If he wants to address that or answer that, he can.
Okay, would you like to address that, Mr. Muhammad?
No, sir. We can get to the next caller.
I appreciate that. We got to take a break. We'll come back. One open line, 232-3911. If you'd like to be on the program today, 232-3911. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Good morning, and thank you for listening to AM 770 in the Sean Hannity program. We're here live Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 in the afternoon, Saturday, 10 a.m. till 12 noon as we talk about the issues of the day. Khalid Abdul Muhammad joins us, National Assistant to the Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we're taking your telephone calls this morning, 232-3911. Reverend Farrakhan has said on occasions that Judaism is a gutter religion. Do you believe that?
Minister Farrakhan has never said that Judaism is a gutter religion.
I heard it myself on Bill Donahue.
No, you heard it out of context. What he said exactly, I was present. He said, now that nation of Israel has not had any peace in 40 years and will not have any peace as long as it is structured on injustice and as long as, in paraphrasing, a people have been displaced and dispossessed from their homeland. He says, while you shield your dirty religion. Now, what he was referring to, sir, was he never mentioned Judaism anywhere in the entire speech. He never said Judaism. He never mentioned it. He was saying that if the world of Christianity would practice Christianity, the world would be a better place rather than professing it. As the gentleman said in a convoluted way, the previous caller, if the world of Islam would practice Islam and not just preach it, the world would be a better place. If the Jews would practice Judaism and not just preach it, the world would be a better place. So he was saying your practice is different from what you profess and what you preach. They preach Judaism, but they are practicing their own dirty gutter religion. If they embraced Judaism, then the principles, the moral principles and precepts of Judaism as revealed by Moses in the Torah would make the world a better place, but that is not what they're doing.
Let me ask you a question. There was a journalist, his name was Milton Coleman, and if you remember, he was the one who put forth the statement by Jesse Jackson.
I remember it well.
Hannity, and he was angrily labeled Uncle Tom by Mr. Farrakhan, and he and others...
He is a Tom.
He is an Uncle Tom.
Of course he is.
Because he told the truth about a statement made by Jesse Jackson.
He violated the canons of journalism, and he violated the sensitive and very close and intimate relationship that a personal friend has with a personal friend. It was said off the record. It was understood that it was off the record, and then he didn't even have enough courage to leak it to the press under his own byline. He did it under someone else's byline. I would say that not only is he a Tom, but he's a hypocrite, and he should not be considered a friend because of the serious violation of that.
So if he tells the truth about a statement made by a public figure like Jesse Jackson, you consider that Uncle Tomism?
However you want to word it, sir, I've made my statement.
Okay, I have another question. I'll tell you what, why don't we go back to the phones? First, we'll check in with Chuck from Tony. You're live on WVNN and the Sean Hannity program. Good morning.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Good. Great time this morning.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Muhammad, I have a question.
Oh, yes, sir.
Mr. Muhammad, you don't think he's bigoted against white people?
I don't. I'm not going to make any comments on that. I just have one question for him.
He's like an intelligent man, unlike you, Sean.
I'm an unintelligent, uninformed, devilish, lightweight talk show host. Go right ahead.
Calling in for some serious dialogue. You obviously don't want that.
No, of course not.
Okay, I think that some of the points that Mr. Muhammad made certainly have some validity, and perhaps if I was from that culture and, like he was saying, where people came in and were exploited, I would feel the same way. But what I would like to know is he made a statement that the white man had robbed the black man of his history and of his culture and of his God and everything, and I imagine that he would say that the white man did a pretty complete job of that. Is that so?
Yes, sir, he did a very thorough job.
A very thorough job. Okay. Well, then what I'd like to ask is, if that's the case, and the history has been totally obliterated, how do you assert that the statements about being the father of medicine and the father of culture and all this things that you're claiming that the Afrocentric type of thought, where does that information come from? If the white man had done such a thorough job of obliterating it, there's obviously wouldn't be any records of it.
No, sir. You're misunderstanding the process.
Okay.
What we have to understand here is that we're looking at America, and we should see America as a room. And the slaves are here in this room between these four walls, robbed of their name, their language, their religion, their culture, their God, their folkways, mores,